Kilmar Abrego Garcia's lawyers revealed in court that their client has applied for asylum, setting off legal proceedings that could last for a very long time, at least through a good part of the autumn. So while we're following that, this would be a good time to look at all of the misinformation that the Trump administration has been putting out on social media about Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case, so you can be informed and get all the facts about all of the claims that are being put out there and know the complete picture. I feel like this is a very representative one from the Department of Homeland Security. It says, quote, "Sanctuary politicians and the fake news won't tell you the truth about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an MS-13 gang member, human trafficker, wife beater, child predator, and criminal illegal alien." Now, they wrote that on the day that it became public that they would try to deport Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Uganda. So instead of testing those allegations in a court of law, they're putting it out on social media. Let's take it one at a time to tell the whole truth about it. Claim number one, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13. You would think that if the government had very strong evidence of this, they could try to convince at least one federal judge that it was true. The opposite is the case. At least 5 federal judges have rejected the claim, starting with U.S. District Judge Paula Zinis, who's presiding over Kilmar Abrego Garcia's civil cases. She said the government presented no evidence of that proposition. Her ruling was affirmed by an appellate court where 2 judges went out of the way to say, yes, there has been no evidence that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13. We went deeper into this question in Kilmar Abrego Garcia's criminal case and found during a bail hearing that the government's claim rests on hearsay from 2 cooperating witnesses. That was how it was characterized by Magistrate Judge Barbara Holmes, who did not credit the claims that it was MS-13, that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of that El Salvador gang. Her ruling was appealed, essentially, to U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw for reconsideration. He looked at the evidence, and he said that to credit the claim that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13, quote, would border on fanciful. Now, let's say you don't trust any of these 5 judges. The government's main cooperating witness told the government in the first interview with them that he did not believe that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13. So that's the government's first claim. And now you often see a similar claim floating around where they describe Kilmar Abrego Garcia as a terrorist. That's a related claim, claim number 2. Now, it's related because Donald Trump designated MS-13 a terrorist organization. But as we just went over, at least 5 judges have rejected the entire premise that he's a member of MS-13. And as long as we're talking about being terrorized, the Trump administration has whisked hundreds of men out of the country starting on March 15th of 2025, put them in a foreign prison where many are reporting being tortured. Claim number 3, Abrego is a human trafficker. The Trump DOJ hasn't even charged Abrego with trafficking. Let me say that again. Abrego is not charged with human trafficking and hasn't been for all the time the Trump administration has been posting that on official accounts on social media. They might be confusing him with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was both charged and convicted of sex trafficking, leading to her 20-year sentence and earning her a visit from Trump's former attorney, Todd Blanche, and a move to a nicer prison in Texas. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, on the other hand, is being disparaged by the government on social media while being charged with far less serious crimes. his crimes relate to transportation, or what is informally known as human smuggling. Now, that's not just a technical difference. It's orders of magnitude less serious. The average sentence for human smuggling in the Middle District of Tennessee, where Kilmar Abrego Garcia is charged, is about 1 year in prison. As a matter of fact, at his bail hearing, a federal judge dressed down the government for conflating the two terms. Here's what she wrote in her ruling. Human trafficking and human smuggling are often confused. The crimes are very different, and it is critical to understand the difference between the two. Her ruling continues, quote, human trafficking involves exploiting men, women, or children for the purposes of forced labor or commercial sexual exploitation. Human smuggling involves the provision of a service, typically transportation or fraudulent documents, to an individual who voluntarily seeks to gain a legal entry into a foreign country. So that puts the trafficking smear to bed. Claim number 4, Abrego is a child predator. And now look at this tweet from the Department of Homeland Security. Quote, according to court filings, Kilmar Abrego Garcia also solicited nude photographs of a minor. Now, that is a very serious allegation and one that the government would be within its rights to prosecute if it had evidence of the claim that they thought could pass muster in a court of law. What they don't say in that tweet is that the court filings that they are referencing are their own court filings that were rejected in court. One judge who examined allegations from a couple of the cooperating witnesses that said that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was always behaving inappropriately toward minors and it was bad for business. The judge said about that, quote, the court gives no weight to this evidence. And she said that that rested on, quote, 4 or more levels of hearsay. Now, if the government has enough evidence to prove those very serious claims against Kilmar Abrego Garcia, they could bring those allegations to a grand jury, which could indict Kilmar Abrego Garcia of those crimes. They have not done that. Instead, they are referencing their own rejected court filings on social media before Kilmar Abrego Garcia's trial. That's not the way the criminal process traditionally works in the United States. Claim number 5, Abrego is a criminal. Now that's flatly false because Abrego, as this video is being recorded, has no criminal record, 0. And in the United States, the standard is innocent until proven guilty, not innocent until the government disparages you on social media. To the extent that he's living in the United States without documentation, that's a civil matter, and he's currently seeking asylum. Now, one thing to discuss, because it's part of the tweet that we introduced this video with, and the question of his domestic abuse allegations. It's true that his wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, sought 2 orders of protection over domestic abuse. The details of those complaints are alarming, but they have nothing to do with Abrego's criminal case. And it makes no sense why the government is posting screenshots of them on social media while he's awaiting trial on totally different charges. As a matter of fact, his wife, Jennifer Vasquez Sura, she's shown up to all of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's criminal and civil hearings. They were reunited recently when he was released on bail. As a matter of fact, her attendance at his criminal trial is more than can be said about Melania Trump when Donald Trump was standing criminal trial. Now, Ms. Vasquez and Mr. Abrego got married in 2019. That makes it their 6th year of marriage, and they're on pace to last longer than Donald Trump's 2nd marriage to Marla Maples. But all of this is a distraction. It's non sequitur. It's like saying Trump's first wife, Ivana, once accused Trump of raping her before disavowing that. Or saying a federal jury found Trump sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll in a civil trial. Or saying at least 26 women have accused Trump of some form of sexual misconduct. All of those statements are true, but they're irrelevant to Abrego's case. You don't have to agree with, support, excuse, or apologize for any and everything that Kilmar Abrego Garcia has ever done to support the basic proposition that the government needs to support serious allegations against a defendant at trial, not on social media. And as a matter of fact, that's a way that the United States justice system has always been the ideals, the way it's supposed to work. No one's walking around with a hat saying Kilmar Abrego Garcia was right about everything. What they're demanding is that rule of law be followed. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm Adam Klasfeld. You've been watching All Rise News on the Legal AF channel. If you want to see videos like this to get the full story, the full facts, hit subscribe. And if you want to go deeper, visit www.allrisenews.com. That's www.allrisenews.com. You can subscribe there, and as a paid subscriber, get the deeper story.
Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.